So I'm talking about the DCCC in Texas. Last week, they decided to dump a bunch of opposition research, public opposition research, much of it misleading, on candidate Laura Moser, who's one of 7 candidates running for Congress in the Texas 7th, and potentially the frontrunner. I have no idea what they were thinking here. Like, and we should say, so Laura Moser is also the wife of Arun Chaudhry. He worked in the Obama White House as a videographer, so we've all worked with Arun. So the opposition research is basically 2 things. One, it's a quote from her. She grew up in Houston, then she moved away, and it's a quote from her saying, "Oh, I would never want to live in Paris, Texas," which is like 100 miles, 2 hours outside of Houston in a rural area. Like, she loves Houston. She grew up there. So that's one, saying, "Oh, she's made fun of Texas."
Well, took it out of context, acting like she was talking about Houston, not about Paris, which is nowhere near Houston.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They actually took her out of context in the research, which is pretty bullshit. And then they said she was funneling money to her husband's firm. So obviously she hired her husband's firm as a consultant. She has to pay them because otherwise it's an in-kind contribution.
Well, and also the way these morons, the way this works is when you pay an advertising firm, half of that money then goes back out to the TV stations or the digital ad buyers who then place your ads. So of course the numbers look bigger. But this pisses me off on 2 levels. One, Laura, Arun, like Democrats, I'm fine with the DCCC picking sides and supporting people, but like, don't go after the Democratic family like that with negative ads that are this brazenly dishonest. 2, are you guys really so bad at your jobs that thinking a terrible, out of context, ridiculous attack like this is going to be effective? It is clearly rallying people around her candidacy. It is so personally and professionally stupid and offensive. And I really think they should walk it back and try to fix this before everyone completely loses faith in an organization that we actually need Democrats to support, to donate to look to for help as candidates.
You and I were doing the live stream last week, and someone was like, "Oh, you know, I've been supporting Swing Left and Indivisible, and should I support the DCCC too? And what about them?" And we were trying to make the case that, yeah, you know what, they have the voter file. That's really important to candidates. We need the DCCC to be strong. And I want to be saying these things, but like that, what they're doing in Texas is, look, if you don't believe she can win a general election, you can even say you don't believe she can win a general election. Dumping a bunch of research opposition research out there is not something you do unless the person is seriously problematic.
What did they think their reason for? What did they think? What was their goal?
They think she can't win a general.
They are telling people that she's too liberal to win a general election. Now, there's other candidates in the race who are about as liberal or have kind of in the same positions that Laura has, but she has been, up in the polls and she's getting close to the front runner. The front runner is supported by the DCCC, and Emily's List also seems like a perfectly fine Democrat, but they don't think Laura can win. And so, but to say we don't think she can win, and here's why, and then to just make these 2 ridiculous arguments, it's frustrating. That's the real problem. If there's other research out there, if there's other things then be honest about that, but don't go do this.
It's also right, like there's an expectation on the part of a lot of activists that the DCCC is beholden to a notion about what it means to be electable, that is 25 or 30 years old, and can't be trusted to get behind the people that the base wants, can't be trusted to think that the enthusiasm that we see across the country is enough to harness to win elections, even if these are candidates that are maybe more to the left than those in the past. And they're just ready to pounce on that, and this gives into that.
But meanwhile, in Illinois, they have not made a decision on whether or not to not endorse Dan Lipinski, who's a congressman who's probably one of the most conservative Democratic congressmen out there, voted against Obamacare, voted pro-life, voted the wrong way on immigration, has voted like the wrong way on Democratic issue after Democratic issue. Not small stuff. Not like I'm personally pro-life, but I'm not. No, he is super conservative for a Democrat.
He refused to endorse Obama's re-election in 2012.
Yeah,
I mean, Dan Lipinski sucks. Let's be clear. Dan Lipinski is terrible. But what's annoying is like the Politico got this so wrong because they wrote up like the DCCC declined to endorse Dan Lipinski, the type of blue dog they need in this election. Well, maybe, but not in this district. You don't need like a suburban Chicago district that's 1/3 Latino. You don't need a Dan Lipinski who just barely has said he's going to vote for the Dream Act if it comes to the floor, but he won't co-sponsor it. Like, we don't need Dan Lipinski's in the party. It's okay to push him.
We're going to try to beat Peter Roskam in the Chicago suburbs. We're going to. We have a couple Republicans we're picking off there. We don't need him there.
By the way, just on Dan Lipinski, like, his dad served in the House for 20 years. He won his primary and then retired so that he could hand the nomination to his kid, who's since won primaries and general elections. But, like, this was pretty much the least democratic way to get a nomination there is.
I don't care if honestly, I don't care if Dan Lipinski wins or loses. I don't care about that one.
Really?
No.
I sort of want.
No. I mean, I don't care. I don't care if a Republican took his spot.
Oh no! Well, no, he's got a great.
The Republican is a Holocaust denier.
Yeah, well, that's
no. He's got a great Democratic challenger. Kirsten Gillibrand endorsed her. Went out there. She's great.
But I want to go back.
I didn't. You got to cut out the part where you didn't read the news. Okay, cool.
I forgot.
It's okay.
All right, we're going back. So I'm just gonna wrap it up then. So anyway, hey DCCC, get your shit together.
Get your shit together. Do you remember when I gave you $100 for that Montana thing? Whatever happened with that?
Feels like a long time ago.
Get your shit together. Yeah. And I don't want to get annoying emails from the DCCC and be like, oh, here's what really happened. No, tell everyone what really happened.
Actually,
we don't be public about it.
We're sick of getting the best arguments in our emails.
Right.
Come on.